First and foremost, welcome to the experience. I'm your host, Stephen the Dream. This is the That and the Third interview series. Want to give a huge shout to Cali Lana Vintage. Make sure y'all pop out if you don't know. If you know, you know. Tap in one of the hottest clothing stores, venues in the city. Yaga brand, Yaga stand. Want to give a huge shout to Creative Eye Visuals, TZ LaFleur, TZ Da Vinci behind the scenes, behind the camera. Got a real special guest with me today, man. Been killing the scene as much as I've been seeing this year, but I had to go back and check. Like, this shit just ain't started. This ain't nothing new to you. RGM, I'm gonna tell them what I thought it stand for, but it's respect good music. I thought it was real good money. Cause you've been going around, you know what I'm saying, balling on them all week. Every video going crazy. We got RGMG in the building, man.
Definitely, man. RGMG. You already know what time it is. CEO shit.
For sure. And that's really what it like. That's what it really stems from. Like, you know, ultimately I'll let you tell the people what you do, but from being an artist to really being a boss and really having other artists under your wings and really working other situations, I see you grinding, like, you know, and that you're not afraid to get it multiple ways. And I think this might be a good chance for people to understand, like, you don't have to be so selfish in this thing because you could just take all the opportunity. You could just do everything that you see come to you. But I'm looking on your page and it's multiple artists we'll get into. But I'll let you tell the people, like, what is it that you do? What do you consider yourself as?
So basically, man, I rap. You know what I'm saying? That's where this all started. You know what I'm saying? But currently, I have an independent label. You know what I'm saying? Which make me the boss of my label and shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I pretty much do it all. You know what I'm saying? But as far as rap, you know what I'm saying? That's where it started. That's where it stemmed from. You know what I'm saying? The music and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I've been connected with a lot of people, with a lot of good people. So that's really where it stems even more to the further extent of having a label and shit. Just what I know, the information I know and shit.
For sure. And I see, or I heard, like, even in the track, like, I signed myself, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't wait on nobody. No. But how long did this thing really take? Like, let's go to the essence, really. Like, I'll even go before the music. Like, where are you from? Where your origins take us back to?
Shit, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, right here.
Okay, real city, real deal.
Real shit.
Born in one of the primaries hospitals out here.
Yeah, definitely, man. CMC Maine.
Okay.
That's the hospital. Shit, I consider myself, when I say, like, when people ask me where I'm from, I say from all over this motherfucker. But I originated on the north side, you know, North Charlotte area. But I've been on the east and the west, you know what I'm saying, throughout my whole growing up.
I'm a person from, I'm a person from South Carolina. Now, let's say I'm closer than what it is to be from Charlotte, so I might know a little more. But say I'm from Charleston. What would you say, like, your Charlotte experience was, like, for somebody out of town? Is it, you think people will have very similar things? Because a lot of people tell me, like, you know, every hood is every hood, every spot is every spot. But, like, Charlotte, you know, it's grown and developed. So what you might have saw 10 years ago, 20 years ago ain't per se gonna be the same. What's your experience, you would say? You know?
I mean, shit, my experience for real, it all depends on who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna refer to as two types of people in Charlotte. You got the people that stayed in their section, and you have the people that move around. I'm one of the ones that move around.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. So I got to be in every hood. You know what I'm saying? I adapted to a lot of situations. So I feel like, you know what I'm saying, like I can move in and out how I want to. You know what I'm saying? So
what was family like early on? Are you you know, brought up in a single family home, two parents? What was that like?
Shit, I had two parents. Like,
That's
okay,
good.
Even with that right there. So like I feel like my life is balanced, a perfect balance. So I had both parents at one point, then my dad got locked up, you know what I'm saying? So then that caused me to have, you know what I'm saying, my mama raised me and shit. So
For sure.
Single parent home. But, you know what I'm saying, it was a good upbringing for the most part.
When does the music come into play? Is because, you know, as we young, rapper might be a thing, but like people gonna push us to be doctors, whatever that other stuff may be. At the end of the day, like, you had to hustle in you didn't. That's why you still doing it, so I'm sure. You may do something else, but that was in you or it wasn't. What is it for you? Like, what was it before? What was you maybe gonna be if it wasn't music?
All right, so like my dad, right, he was a football player himself.
Okay.
So he was pushing me to do football, which is I had a scholarship for that shit and everything, but I had a child, so I decided not to go. Just because I wanted to be that parent to be in my child's life. And I wasn't really into school. I made good grades to get out, honestly. I made great grades. But I got down wanted to get out, like I say.
How hard was that decision? It's just like not the, I mean, you got the path right there. The next step is scholarship.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, the
You know?
thing is, I wanted to be a football player, but then also too, when I was in high school and shit playing football, you know what I'm saying, I look in the stands, not too much support for me. When my dad got locked up, a lot of shit changed, you know what I'm saying? So I really found my avenue within that music shit, one that had my voice heard. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I got on to a lot of shit late as far as telling motherfuckers I do the music, but I've been doing the music, you know what I'm saying? And then, so really that's where it stemmed from the me doing the football and then wanting to have my voice heard doing the music shit.
That was the transition for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you made that decision. You had your child. What was the what was like the hardest part of that whole time? Because I'm sure things wasn't maybe easy because you transitioning from a sport,
Yeah.
now you going into music, which ain't ever gonna be easy.
Yeah,
It's still
yeah.
hard, and you balancing parenthood all in one. How old were you then? Were you?
Shit, I was about 19 when I had my
Oh,
first
damn.
child and shit.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, I was pretty young. But the thing about that too, like I knew my path as far as what was already, you know what I'm saying, in my as far as what was in my setup, what was in my cards. So like I already was a supervisor. That kind of like took me to having the finances I needed and shit. Like it went from one supervisor job to another supervisor job, which I was the highest paid, you know what I'm saying, you know, minority and also the youngest person in my company and shit. So I kind
So
of
you
got
been managing
had
shit.
financial shit behind me too, and I had
For sure.
like even with the management shit, like I'm a big brother, like the oldest. So a lot of this shit is already instilled to be a leader. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So a lot of
Right.
this
Got
shit I
to.
just piggyback off of and put it into my music. So the hardest thing was trying to find myself within the music, trying to find what lane I wanted to actually be in. I was looking up to people like, you know what I'm saying, damn all the CEOs as far as like the Master P's, the Cash Moneys, you know what I'm saying? And then like currently Young Dolph and shit like that.
Yeah.
So
Rest in
like that's
peace,
really
for
where
sure.
my energy and shit come in to wanting to be a CEO and be the greatest CEO, but also rapping too, you know what I'm saying? Because if you, as you see, they was all musicians as well and shit. So
Right, right, and you can do them both, and they really put that stuff on Front Street. They put
yeah,
their label on and their artists on with their music, and like I say, it takes a certain type of individual because I tell artists all the time, like, don't like it's two parts to what I say, like, don't sign to an artist unless he willing to put you on Front Street the same way he gonna put
yeah,
himself on. Now it's because it's like if the contract on the table, it's like they say what's the hardest joint. If you a real CEO, then you gonna look back and realize, shit, he go on and he got the hardest joint. I'm still in the game, but
yeah,
some artists will look at it and say we gotta take the cake and run with it, and that might be all we got.
yeah,
And you don't strike me as that person because I think the artists that you know surrounded yourself around or been around are like hard working artists.
yeah.
But talk to me about when it became RGM. Were you always RGMG? Did you start off as that, or were you someone else in terms of the music, or when did
Yeah, I
that start?
mean, so as far as RGMG, like RGMG is just putting my company in the, you know what I'm saying, incorporating that in with my name, which is G, you know what I'm
For
saying?
sure,
I was
for
always
sure.
called G Money, you know, my daddy called me G Money, you know what I'm saying? My name is Gary, so, you know, that G is gonna be there.
For sure.
But RGM came in with just put my, incorporate my company, but it was Rich Gang Mafia at first, honestly.
Oh,
If you
it
go
did
back,
mean
if you go
something
back and
else.
Google that shit for real, it's Rich Gang Mafia. The thing about that whole Rich Gang shit, you already know, which is, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I ain't even gonna, I ain't even gonna
That's
cap. I ain't even gonna
crazy.
cap. We was at my, I told my baby mama to take my CDs to the airport, which she was working at the airport at the time. And then, you know what I'm saying, she had run into some people, which I ain't gonna say no names. Just, like I say, go back and Google the part of which year we actually put it out as far as the public domain. And then I had to revamp that shit because I didn't like what was going on. That's just
course.
that.
Wow,
And
timing is everything,
that's
ain't
with the
it?
paperwork shit too. Like that's how I had to learn the business shit. Like okay, I mean whether that was a coincidence or not, my whole thing is getting on that, getting to the business, getting to the paperwork, finance. You know what I'm saying? Really legitimizing your shit. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the hardest part I had to learn about this shit.
Well, RGMG in here. Talk about that real quick, because as a CEO, you done seen it from both sides, I'm sure, and had to understand it from both sides. But give me like maybe one experience that did teach you a major lesson, like we'd never do that again, or we had to get burnt here to
Yeah,
overcome be over here. If you know anything, that's not a bad anything, but
yeah,
like we all have been through it. You know what I'm saying? Even I done seen it all. You know.
true.
So
I mean, man, like it's a lot of lessons in this shit. Honestly, I can't even really name one specific. That was one of the biggest ones for me is
right.
legitimizing my shit. But two, I guess just finding out who's who. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that's in the industry. You really got to find out who's really doing what they supposed to do versus the ones that just trying to get some, you know, get a dollar off of it and shit.
Right,
And
right.
then two, it take understanding. So a lot of this shit is trial and error, but it also take development and growth to be able to get to a position where you understand what's what. Because I could have been in the wrong growing up. You know what I'm saying? I had managers, I had certain people in place, and whether that shit went good or bad, it was me having to grow up as well. But also the things of when I was inexperienced and shit is what got me to this far.
Right,
Not
right.
being rebellious and trying to fight my way through this shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Needed that.
yeah.
For sure, for sure. RGMG in here, man. We speaking real deal right now. What do you do aside from the music? What do you do for fun? You like sports? You are you still into football?
I mean,
You
honestly,
gamble? You club? What we doing?
like if I can do anything, like I do some partying shit, but I really
For
just
sure.
stick to the music. Like just deal with the artists that I got on my team, do phone call meetings and shit all day. Really, shit. I
Let's
got
talk about the artists. For
yeah.
sure.
So like the artists, man, I got a lot of artists. You know what I'm saying? I got like four artists going hard right now.
Okay.
But like the whole thing with me too, like it's a development stage. So we got the development stage, we got the management stage, and we got the actual RGM label shit. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So I feel like, you know what I mean, if I see talent, I'm not gonna expect them to already had a full package. I could develop that, you know what I'm saying? Or shit, we can get some
important.
management on that, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, everything is a growing process. So even with the artists, we all growing. I'm teaching, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning at the same time what work, what don't work from my experiences and shit as well. And we getting a team, you know what I'm saying? Collectively, we getting a team. Like I don't had a lot of money, so I don't really invested in shit like PR and, you know, walk red carpet events and shit.
Right,
Like
right.
I just didn't put it together at the time because I ain't know how. But now I'm in the know-how, so we cleaning everything up and getting everything good.
Man, the education and knowledge have changed so much,
Tell
bro.
you.
Like we know we'll do it. You just gotta sometimes know what it is to do. And like you said, now that you're able to put this together, you're able to make this a business to give people a reason to want to sign to you. Um, what would you say right now is what gives you the drive to still make the music though? Like, cause FTI that song go crazy. I just seen it
Shit, yeah.
perform. You know what I'm saying?
like like FTI, like that shit give me like would give me the vibe, and it's my team, you know what I'm saying? My team go hard and they always hit me up and telling me thank you for something, you know what I'm saying? Really it's just the love that I have for the music and shit, for real, for real. But like at the same time, like FTI, like to me that's old, but we put it out there and it's new to others, and that's where like
Still running
coming
it.
up, that's what I heard, you know what I'm saying? So I got a whole bunch of shit that I'm excited about, like really, really to drop this shit, but I'm still trying to put it together and we getting it to put together. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the energy. It's like I know what I got coming. Like I'm about to really go crazy with this shit.
What's the sound we coming with? Cause that's what I want to know. Is it more of that? Are we hearing more like a different sound from you? What is it
So I
from you?
give I give y'all like one sneak peek, like one snippet. Like the thing is, I got this project coming out. It's called Independent Business. So the whole shit is based off me being independent and me running this shit like a business. You know what I'm saying? Coming from where I come from, which is the streets, and everybody and everything that I done seen coming up. You know what I'm saying? Whether this shit was good or bad, but all about really at the same time being a man and making sure we all get some money to feed our family and shit.
That's what I hear in the music. You really talking about that, like you said, that growth and development. Like I was listening. You gotta listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like the FT, you hitting them with that go getter, that money talk, but
Yeah.
it's really like be better, nigga. Like
Yeah.
I'm better. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
what I'm on.
Yeah,
So
like that's why like if you listen to the tag, which my cousin, you know what I'm saying, he came up creatively with that shit, like respect good music, everybody get money. Like that's the whole wave. Everybody that fuck with me, or you know what I'm saying, you know, we gonna get some money
Get
and
coming
we
to
gonna get
some
some money together. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
If this shit ain't here right now, it's because it's everybody in their development stage or their management stage. A lot of people don't get to understand that, but at the same time, when it's ready and we drop this shit, it's gonna be the hardest shit in the streets.
if you stay down, if you stay down,
I'm telling you, and that's a lot of shit that I learned for real, for real. So
Yeah.
it's like a loyalty test at the same time.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. You gave me a sneak peek of what's coming next. I appreciate it. Give me just if you want to run down, just shout out to maybe the artist or maybe what's the next moves that y'all got. I know you got performance tonight or performance
I'm
this
performing.
week. I said we dropping this, but y'all will see. You know what I'm saying? I actually gonna come out there tonight, so I'm gonna come check you out. I'm
Definitely.
gonna come check you out. We'll put some footage in there. If not, you gonna have to send me some footage for sure. Y'all got
Definitely.
me, for sure.
You like, yeah. So shout out to Honcho, man. Shout out to Playmaker. Shout out to my cousin Richie. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to goddamn Sunshine. You know, just shout out to all the artists that I done help develop, man. And you know what I'm saying? That's getting their shit together, man, so we can goddamn hit the streets real hard.
For sure. Well, man, I definitely appreciate you for coming through. Before I get you out of here, I need to bless me with that. That mic, that drop
Yeah.
mic, give them a little performance. Let them
Alright.
hit that RTI. Let them tee up for us one time. But let them know where they can find you at. Let them know where they can
Shit.
tap in with you.
Yeah, man, you can find me on Instagram at RGM_G. You can Google me. You can goddamn go to the website, respectgoodmusic.com. You know what I'm saying? But as far as we got the project dropping, FTI, You know what I'm saying? It's on all streaming platforms.
So
So make sure y'all go check that shit out.
run it up, respect good music. G is in the building, man. Want to give a huge shout to Creative Eye Visuals behind the scene, behind the camera. Cali Line of Vintage for housing the interview today. Make sure y'all give us a follow at This, That, and the Third interview series for more interviews, clips, and freestyles. Make sure y'all follow me at Stephen the Dream. That's STEPHEN THA Dream. I am the voice of the Carolinas. This is RGMG. We'll see y'all next time, man. We out.
Let's get it.